This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
My name's Eric Adee. I'm with the Kansas River Valley Experiment Field. I manage that. I'm an agronomist in charge there. Sudden death has been a problem for quite a few years here at Dennis, Kansas River Valley. And we have a number of studies that we work on at the River Valley Experiment Field. We are looking at anything from fertility to variety selection to seed treatment. One of the things we've been looking at recently has been planting date. And we know that farmers, at least according to the research from other areas, to increase soybean yields, we need to go to an earlier planting date, which is typically what they're looking at is the end of April, probably the first part of May. But here in the River Valley, because of sudden death has been such a problem, and they've seen that it looks worse when they plant earlier, they hold off on planting till after at least the middle of May, maybe even later, maybe towards the end of May. So we set up these experiments to see, is sudden death, how much more severe is it with an earlier planting date compared to a later planting date? And what we have seen in two different studies, I won't go into all the details here, but basically, yes, we do see more SDS when we plant earlier. It's favored by cooler, wetter soils. But we also see a significant yield increase, especially when you're planting a more tolerant or resistant variety. We don't have anything really resistant, but we have some that really have a lot better tolerance. And we can see like up to, on average, I have a 3-year average of like a 5 bushel yield increase, going like the 2nd of May, and then that's 5 bushels over planting at the 20th of May. And then it keeps dropping off, the yield potential keeps dropping off when you get into the 1st of June, and then the end of June it really drops off. So take-home message is that planting a resistant variety, or the most tolerant variety we can realize a lot better yield potential, some of that yield potential. If we're planting a susceptible variety, we won't see any benefit. The research we have doesn't show any benefit to planting earlier. You just as well wait till the end of May, and that's all you're going to get. But if we take good management practices, planting good variety for our area, good yield potential, it will show some of that yield response to planting earlier in the season. So I think that is an option. We can help increase soybean productivity by planting earlier, but we need to manage for SDS. The other things we've been working on, SDS, we've done a lot of seed treatment work for companies. We look at things, we kind of get the first look at things before they're released to the field. And there has been one product that came out, is Flupyrum. Bayer markets it as a Levo. It's been very effective, and it also is effective against cyst nematode, soybean cyst nematode. And there's an interaction between cyst nematode and SDS. We're not sure exactly what it is, but we know if we help control or a variety is resistant to cyst nematode, we have less SDS. So that is out there. I did look at a couple of products for different companies last year that did show some promise. I don't know if they'll produce them and get them on out to the market, but there may be some other options for seed treatments to control SDS. Careful variety selection can make a huge difference. Now, a given year, we can have much more severe SDS than another year. I've only been here 6 years, and it's really varied. Some of it's related to soil moisture. It's hard to pin down. My take on it is if we get above average normal rainfall in June, right before bloom, we generally start to bloom right at the 1st of July, that is when we're set up for the most severe SDS. The last 2 years we've had above average rainfall in April and May, but a little below average or average during June. We've had very little SDS. Now, we have a long-term fertility study which wasn't planned to look at SDS, but we did see SDS show up in this corn-soybean rotation in the soybean year in 2014. It was very severe. And it turns out the phosphorus is the key ingredient, highly significant. And then in 2016, it showed up exactly very similar results. It didn't have a severe SDS, but the results followed the treatment level almost identically. So maintaining a good soil level of phosphorus is going to be probably very key in reducing the severity of SDS. And a combination of a lot of things, getting a good variety, getting a seed treatment, keeping your phosphorus levels up, and I think we're going to have a good chance of really seeing an increase with an earlier planting date in the yield potential of soybeans.
This segment brought to you by the Arab Shrine Circus, coming to the Kansas Expo Center February 15th through the 18th. For ticket information, visit ArabShrineCircus.com.